opponents have stated 3 key reasons in what they say is the reason that violent video games should be banned to minors. They said 1, violent video games are not protected under your First Amendment rights. 2, it causes violence in children, and it can lead to more aggressive acts or feelings. I will talk about all 3 of these. The first one, that the sale of violent video games is unconstitutional because it's not protected underneath your First Amendment right, is completely untrue. Actually, in 2005, California passed a law that would ban the sales of violent video games to people under the age of 18. This was then taken to the Supreme Court in 2011 and was decided in a 7-2 margin in Brown versus the Entertainment Merchants Association, that the law violated people's free speech, which shows that it is protected under the Constitution. The second thing, that it causes violence in children, is completely untrue. They said that juvenile murders have continued to go up because of violent video games, which we actually stated a fact that said that was untrue. And so how could we possibly be seeing more deaths when we're seeing less deaths? And then another thing that they said was, my opponent made a very good point about how you pee on people in this video game. But we're not talking about the violence in these video games. We're talking about whether or not they should be banned. And this has no relevance to whether or not they should be banned. And another thing is, would you rather have them killing people and peeing on them in real life than in a video game? Another thing that they talked about was the Columbine shooting, which is actually, has nothing to do with video games. Yes, they may have played a little bit too much Doom than they should have, but what you were seeing is actually the result of many mental illnesses, such as depression, and also one of the shooters' father actually committed suicide 3 months beforehand. Another thing is they said all these things about how it causes violence, but they really had nothing to back it up. Yes, we have seen some horrific stories in these past few years about shootings, and that's true. But that is not the responsibility of video games. That is the responsibility of the people and the guns doing it. They even said, people from your school, that people that are committing shootings like this are not right in the head. And did they mention violent video games? No. They were talking about the people's morals and their access to guns. I think before we decide that you should ban violent video games, maybe you should look deeper into what is causing these things. Maybe you should work on a better system for helping people with mental illnesses. Maybe you shouldn't allow people with mental illnesses to get guns, as what the debate before stated. For these reasons, me and my opponents believe that violent video games should not be banned to minors. Thank you.
Good job.